the quote-unquote problem with woke culture is, I mean, the bullshit that they've been coming up with for a couple hundred years is now being dismantled in the span of a couple decades. That's the problem with woke culture. And, well, why do they hate the Mexicans so much? Well, we don't stop to think about, one, the term Native American. You know, when you really pay attention to it, right? What is a Native American? What are they? Not only what are they, what do they get? Let's go over a couple things. If I'm not mistaken, they get free schooling, but without a doubt, they get things like, well, they get reparations in ways of land. They get to basically govern that land. They don't get taxed. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. What happens when the Mexicans realize that they fucking Native Americans? What happens when they begin to drop the whole Mexican act, the whole Mexicana, and they drop the flag and all that, and they say, oh damn, nigga, we Native Americans too. You know? What happens then? Because when you looking at Asia, India, Pakistan, those are two countries on the continent of Asia. Indians, how they look, are Asian. The same way Chinese, Japanese, and Thailand's people, those are all Asians. Indians and Pakistanis are also Asians. So it wasn't just Native Americans on the landmass of North America, but it was also Mexicans. It was the quote-unquote Indians, and then it was also black people. Well, some people are coming to the realization of that. What happens when the Native Americans, the true Native Americans, Mexicans, Indians, and African Americans, because, I mean, at this moment, we can't truly decipher exactly who was here, who wasn't here, but it was all the same people. What happens when they are reclassified as Native Americans? Well, then they would have to get their own land. They would have to receive reparations and all of the forms that they gave the Indians reparations, because they too are Native Americans. Now, while it's debatable of who in the African American community was or wasn't here, which I'll go into that another day, because I mean, business is business, and we were a business. But just for the moment, and just exclude African Americans, because, you know, niggas, which we are everywhere. But you had for sure Mexicans and your Siberian Indians, is like they like to call them, but they Indians. They were here. But only the Siberian Indians, only they are the ones who receive the reparations and land. They get free schooling. They get a lot of free stuff. I'll tell you this, they treat them motherfuckers well. What they do with their benefits is on them, but they get treated pretty okay, pretty good. I mean, better than any other community that ain't white in this country. But back to my point, what happens when the Mexicans start to realize that, damn, we are Native Americans also, yet we don't receive that. We get hatred. We get this, we get that. And a lot of people will go off of the fact that they may have their own country, but Mexico wasn't called Mexico before who arrived. And we also had to dive into the fact that everybody that's also considering themselves Mexicans are not the ones that were here. You realize that the whole continent was colonized, and people will rename different things. Same way we got African American, colored people, Negroes. I mean, you got Native American, you got Indians, they got their tribes, you know. Everybody was reclassified and renamed when the white man took over and conquered. What happens then? When they realize that Mexicans are Native Americans, what happens then? What will they do for them then? Because even if you don't want to give them land like you give the Indians land, you don't want to give them free schooling like you give the Indians, you don't want to give them free things, anything like that, that you want to or that you give to the Indians, you have to do something for Mexico. You have to do something. You have to pay them in some type of way for all the things that you did to their ancestors. You have to. If you're not willing to do anything for them on your land, the United States, something has to be done. And at the moment, Mexicans are very proud of Mexico, but when they finally realized that half of the United States was once all Mexico, and they didn't receive any type of reparations for their land being taken, like the Native Americans did, when they finally realized that they were treated like the Africans did, because Africa was colonized all through the 1900s, 1700s. I mean, for a while. Do unto others as you will have done unto you. Do unto others as you will have done unto you. This is why these white people are so afraid. This is why Trump is so afraid, because they know when they see that time is running up, and they have done a lot to many people, and as was done unto those people, it will be done unto the ones who did it. All praise to the Most High.